This is 7 News, the voice of the Central West.
Good evening. 1 year ago today, a wall of water smashed through our region, leaving many to pick up the pieces.
A vigil has been held in Ugara to remember the lives lost and the lives which were changed forever. Ruben Spargo was on the ground soon after the tragic event unfolded and was there for the memorial today.
Coming together, united as one, to remember and reflect. At 9 a.m. on November 14, 2022, an inland tsunami caused mass destruction.
I lost everything. Have a dog on the table.
What followed was to become the largest helicopter rescue in our nation's history.
80-year-olds sitting on chairs on tops of tables for 8 hours. Families with babies and toddlers in trees. Families separated, wondering if their loved ones had made it to safety.
But not everyone did. Diane Smith and Les Vujek were killed in the flash flood. Today, Ugara was mourning.
They were both greatly loved and are greatly missed, and they will never be forgotten.
And I know you feel like crying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet.
During that fateful event, houses shuddered and shook while others were swept off their foundations. How residents would ever build back was unknown.
No flood insurance.
No insurance.
But the clean-up was quick to begin as people came from near and far to lend a hand. Some belongings were salvaged amongst the rubble, including this suit, today worn proud.
Lynn gave it a pressure clean and sent it to the dry cleaners. It's actually not a bad advertisement for wool.
Donations from around the country arrived in droves as fundraisers were kick-started, leaving a community to say thank you. Then came the pods, which remain, but not before even more temporary shelter.
We were planning to do some caravanning in our retirement, but we figured we've done our dash for a while.
Today, the scars from the wall of water remain as residents fight to piece back their lives. There will forever be signs of the events which occurred here 1 year ago in a town which has proven, in the face of tragedy, hope prevails.
Lynn and I love Ugara, and we're here for the long haul.
We will rise.
Ruben Spargo, 7 News.
Molong residents have also taken the time to reflect on the flooding which ripped through the small town 12 months ago. While businesses across the community have been busy rebuilding, there is more healing to be done.
A shipping container floating down the highway, water mixed with sewage leaving toxic sludge on everything in its path. A memory all too vivid for business owners who bore the brunt of it.
The mess. There were alarms going off, there are trucks, there are fire trucks, there are people, thousands of people cleaning up down the main street. It was like a war zone.
Floodwaters engulfing stores, destroying inventory. Thousands of dollars lost.
We had to do a big stock take, obviously, to figure out what we had lost. So I would say from a value anywhere between $50,000 and $70,000 worth of stock.
Signs of the damage still visible 1 year on, but the community banding together for the clean-up, a fond memory for affected business owners, a testament to residents' generosity.
The community is amazing. Everyone just dropped everything and came down to Bank Street, which is where it all happened.
But for some, insurance is the headache that remains.
We're actually yet to see any money from the insurance company.
And the question on everyone's minds, could this happen again?
I'm positive it won't. If it does, I don't think Molong will last.
Moving forward, now the focus. Charlotte Wallen, 7 News.
There's fears tonight 5 blazes northwest of Walgett could combine, threatening opal mines near the firefront. Westerly winds are set to challenge containment lines as a request is made for more resources to relieve those exhausted on the ground.
Nurran Lake Nature Reserve northwest of Walgett, engulfed by 5 separate fires, becoming the centre of attention for firefighters in the state's northwest.
Just up near a big tree here, it's right on the edge, eh?
already burning through a combined 11,000 hectares as a result of lightning strikes. The first 2 blazes began on Thursday, followed by 3 more on Sunday evening.
At the moment, there is still some separation between all 5 fires, but as the days progress and the wind influence picks up, some of those fires might join up.
The concern, forecast westerly wind gusts pushing the fire east towards Glengarry and Grawin Opal Fields, just some 7 kilometres away from the fire front.
My concern is the residents of Grawin and Glengarry Opal Fields that live there. Just the smoke that will be going in through there that might get sucked down into the mine shafts is a concern, and obviously the threat of fire itself.
As the fires burn through previously flooded country, crews spent today on heavy machinery strengthening containment lines.
They haven't got a containment line in there. We're just trying to make that a bit stronger today and continue to put crews in there to try and black out as much as we can to try and slow and stop the spread towards the Opal Fields.
For the past 6 days, local firefighters have been battling the fires and the elements to bring each blaze under control. It's prompted the request for more resources to relieve those on the ground.
Just to try and give them a rest.
Hamish Southwell, 7 News.
There are figures out tonight which show the new definition of the working poor hitting our regional areas. Food Bank says record numbers need help to provide even the basics, and that's families with 2 incomes.
Queues banking up. Everyone in need of food.
I make all right money, but still rent's that expensive now, and then food, it's just hard to get by.
Got a mortgage, and with the interest rates going up, it's noticeable.
Now I think it's fair to say that being in a double income household doesn't protect you from needing food relief.
So, backyard food programs run by volunteers are being set up in regional areas right across the state.
The vast majority of people that we see are, and that's, I think, mainly our target group, is pretty much average families.
Even some middle income earners are at breaking point, living paycheck to paycheck as they fight to put food on the table. That analysis is borne out by figures compiled by Food Bank Australia. They show 10% of regional New South Wales have used a food bank in the past year. Remarkably, the majority of those are working and earning up to $90,000 a year. 1 in 4 people in Orange say they can't afford 3 meals a day. That's doubled in just 2 years.
It's particularly noticeable in the regions. We monitor where we send our food, and about 50% of what we ship out now is going to regional New South Wales and the ACT.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Declan Milton, 7 News.
They might be small, but 11 endangered quolls from Taronga Western Plains Zoo have made a crucial trip across Australia to boost the species population. To get to their new home, though, was a complicated process.
Monitoring their every movement by CCTV. This is inside Taronga Western Plains Zoo Feral Predator Proof Sanctuary, the home of the endangered chittich, otherwise known as the Western Quoll, which is involved in a breeding program. Hanging on to Mama, their newly born joeys, keepers providing a watchful eye.
Watching those joeys through our camera system grow up.
Growing up to the stage where 11 joeys can be released into the wild. But to get there requires a check-over with their eyes, teeth and body size. Before being buckled up to hit the road to the airport.
In the front seat.
The important group travelling over 4,000 kilometres to Perth, where they spent 2 nights monitored before a final 5-hour car trip to the Mount Gibson Wildlife Sanctuary in the Western Australian wheat belt to be released. One by one, each joey fitted with tracking collars leapt out of the hands of their keepers to join the newly established 34-strong chittich population.
The relief afterwards of seeing those guys go from those boxes and ping out into the wild, like it's just the most amazing feeling.
The species was once found across 70% of mainland Australia, but has been reduced to just 5% of its former range, extinct in the wild in New South Wales, the NT and Queensland, This release is a crucial part of the quest to restore their population.
As good as we could hope, really, which was awesome. I'm very, very happy.
Hamish Southwell, 7 News.
Well, Kirsty is here now for a look at how today's weather shaped up. And Kirsty, we've seen a little bit of fire activity around today and some cloud cover in some parts.
That's right, Nick and Maddie. Hello to you both and good evening, everyone. Before we do take a look at today's conditions, 2 fires were upgraded to watch and act today in Walgett. Both have burnt more than 2,000 hectares and are moving in a northeasterly and easterly direction, jumping the eastern containment line. Now, some sunshine was across the region this morning in the west, but we certainly saw that cloud moving through the central west from about the mid-morning. We did see some showers move in southwestern parts of the region during the early afternoon as well. That included the likes of Lake Argellico towards Condobolin and even through Forbes as well. In the gauge, though, we haven't recorded any more than about ½ millimetre. Our maximum temperatures hovered between the mid-20s in the east and the mid-30s in the west. Those breezy southwesterly winds did make it feel a little cooler at times, though. Dubbo's top was 32 degrees. Canamble reached a top of 34, and we saw double digits for many of us overnight, with that cloud shutting in some of the day's warmth. A few rumbles of thunder could continue into this evening. We're not expecting much rainfall, though. I'll have tomorrow's forecast a little later.
Thanks, Kirsty. See you in a couple of minutes.
Up next in 7 News, a record sale in Orange attracts music lovers to find some hidden gems.
And the revamped Carnival of Cups draws huge crowds to Cowra for racing and entertainment.
And a little later on this news hour, a routine sprinkler test brings traffic to a standstill, clogging one of Sydney's biggest roads. Plus, a man armed with an axe goes on a car-wrecking rampage in Melbourne. And surgery by torchlight, Gaza's biggest hospital, caught in the crossfire.
Welcome back. A revamped event has attracted new faces to harness racing. The Carnival of Cups complementing the sport by offering entertainment away from the track.
Walking through the gates and onto the dance floor, Cowra's Carnival of Cups was a new take on harness racing.
We're always looking at ways to get the public engaged with our sport, and this is probably the most obvious way to do it.
An 8-race meeting with just as much going on off the track to keep everyone entertained.
Get them in, get them through the gates, get them interested.
More than 3,000 people were at the Cowra Showground, where they had options. Watch the harness racing, and in between events, take in the live music, where local act Plus One were on the big stage.
Good environment out here, it's a good stage, one of the biggest stages we've played on, so it's good.
And the music kept crowds singing along all day. Aussie music legend Daryl Braithwaite leading fans in his iconic song. The Whitlams proving they don't shy away from performing a cover. The event creating something special for the Cowra community.
It's a small town, and just something like this, that's what this town needs.
Harness Racing New South Wales has committed to bring the carnival to Cowra for 3 years. Michelle Cook, 7 News.
Music lovers have enjoyed the ultimate treasure hunt. Thousands of records have been snapped up at a huge sale at Orange's CWA Hall. Crates of vinyl were available, attracting people of all ages to sift through and find some gems. Organiser John Auden said people have different reasons for wanting records.
So people love to have the artwork, they love to have the great analogue sound, and that cannot be re-replicated with streaming and digital format.
Vinyl is becoming more popular with a younger demographic, and the demand for records has increased since the pandemic. If you missed out on this event, there's plans for another sale early next year.
Well, up next in 7 News, The Favourite shows the rest of the field how it's done in the Lachlan Valley Cup.
And junior indoor hockey players deliver an epic decider in the state's under-13s championships.
Welcome back. Orange has hosted the Under-13s Indoor Hockey State Championships. Boys and girls teams hit the court across 4 days of intense competition.
Decked out in orange and black, the host town entered 4 of the tournament's 59 teams. The Orange girls showed class on the court and were awarded the Respect for Officials nod. In the boys' competition, the championship final was one for the ages. Goulburn taking on Illawarra. Goulburn trailed Illawarra 3-1 in the second half as the boys in green went to work. An Illawarra penalty corner would re-establish the 2-goal buffer. 30 seconds later, Goulburn once again pulled within one. In true end-to-end fashion, Illawarra returned serve for a second time. Down 5-3 with less than a minute to play, Goulburn went on the offensive. With 15 seconds left on the clock, Goulburn stole the ball off the restart. Bad tackles from Illawarra inside the circle, resulting in a penalty stroke as time expired. Goulburn now with a chance to tie the game after the siren. Locked up at 5-5, but Goulburn lifting the trophy as they finished higher on the ladder. The boys proud of the way they fought back.
Really nerve-wracking there. I thought, oh, it's away from us now, but then we just pulled through. Boys did really well.
It's not the first time these Goulburn boys have celebrated a state title.
We won Div 3 last year, and then to win Div 1 is amazing. Yeah. Great step up.
Michelle Cook, 7 News.
The Carnival of Cups may have had a makeover, but that didn't mean the quality of racing diminished. The on-track action was hot as the Cowra event attracted strong runners.
Trainer Jared Alchin knew Par's Guarantee was capable of bringing a crowd to their feet.
Probably the top chance of my 4, just because of the barrier draw. He's got good gate speed and he's won the Echuca Cup over the longer trips.
At the revamped Carnival of Cups at the Cowra Showground, Alchin's prediction came true. The $2.90 favourite entertaining in the biggest race of the day, the Lachlan Valley Cup.
And in front is Par's Guarantee. It's in front by a bike wheel.
The 4-year-old led from start to finish, asserting itself as they rounded the last turn under the guidance of driver Cameron Hart.
But the leader's often gone. If you're on this leader, Par's Guarantee, you can get in the queue. It's got a 20-metre advantage as they straighten up.
And there was no catching the gelding as it claimed the $60,000 purse by more than 22 metres.
But an easy one in the final to Par's Guarantee. Second
driver and trainer were all smiles after the win.
He was such a strong horse and we let him roll sectionals just to make it hard for the back markers.
Couldn't have been happier with him. I expected him to go that good off. His track work's been really good.
But the solid win means Alchin has some decisions to make, with bonus prizes up for grabs in the new Carnival of Cups format.
It's worth noting that if you win 5 of the Cups across the entire Carnival, you get an extra $300,000.
We could sort of go to Young to the next Carnival of Cups, or, you know, the way you went today, you sort of maybe even look at Perth.
Young will host the next Carnival of Cups event on December 1. Michelle Cook, 7 News.
Some decent run chases have been set in the latest Bathurst Orange inter-district cricket matches. Centrals will be feeling good after making 249 in the first day of play against Bathurst City. Adam Shepherd led the charge with 77 runs, while Graham Judge also contributed a half-century. At Bathurst Sports Ground, 72 runs from Sammy Austin helped Sims to a total of 270 against St Pat's Old Boys. The second day of play is scheduled for Saturday. The competition is also going hot into the second day of Dubbo District cricket games. Sims have set a healthy total in their 2-day Whitney Cup fixture against Macquarie. RSL Colts have started their run chase well, and Newtown Tigers have already claimed first innings points against South Dubbo Hornets, and that's ahead of Saturday's second day of play. Up next in 7 News, Kirsty is back and she's got your local weather forecast. That's next.
Good evening, everyone. A trough is developing over inland New South Wales, and this trough is drawing heat into parts of the state from the north, but will also trigger shower and storm activity in the eastern half of the state over the next couple of days. After these conditions will become more settled as a new high-pressure system moves into our region that will become the main weather feature with clearer skies and sunshine. Rain-wise, our state once again is split down the middle, the west remaining relatively dry. In the east, we can expect the majority of that rainfall rainfall. The chance of showers for the Central West looks to be around 5 to 10 millimetres over the coming week. Tonight, though, 2 fires were upgraded to watch and act in Walgett. Both have burnt more than 2,000 hectares, jumping the eastern containment line as they were moving in both east and northeasterly directions. On to our midweek weather now. Blue skies are expected across the region tomorrow, but with gusty winds up around 30 kilometres an hour in the morning. There is a chance of a storm to the north at times. We can see those temperatures well into the mid-30s in the west, meaning our fire danger rating for the region will remain at a high level tomorrow. Now, that will remain at a high risk also heading into Thursday as those winds remain strong. The low 30s in Dubbo, though, a top of 30 degrees, the same for both Coonabarabran and for Gilgandra. Gusty winds in the morning, they should ease off by the late afternoon and into the early evening. Quite a high chance of showers developing, though, with possible storms, that mainly towards the ranges. So Mudgee could see about 1 millimetre, but it's Lithgow in the Blue Mountains that could see up to 10 millimetres of rain. Tracking into Friday now, the high 20s returning and those winds easing off once again. Cobar, clear skies, sunshine and 29 degrees with a wind shift this time blowing out of the east and the northeast. For most of us, the end of the working week is looking clear and settled both overnight as we feel those cooler morning temperatures and during the day. Bathurst a top of 26 and Young sunny and 26 degrees also. Taking a look now to the 7-day forecast, we will see those temperatures increase once again into the weekend for Dubbo. The 30s are back on the forecast, as are the high 20s for Orange. Sunshine sticking around until we see some showers on the forecast into early next week. Rainfall always welcome. Enjoy the next few days, though. Pretty mild conditions for this time of year.
We sure will. Thanks, Kirsty. See you later.
And that is your local news for tonight. Thanks for watching. You can always catch up on our website, of course, at 7+.
Right now, though, Dan has your national news. Have a lovely night. We'll see you again tomorrow night from 6 o'clock. See you then.